Swift Talk. I'm Kate, the Swiftie.
And I'm not so swift Sam. Sam who is not so swift.
Sam is not so swift. We are recording early, so you will not be hearing anything about the Eras Tour in Indy because Sam is famous and has to go to HalCon.
HalCon in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada.
So if you are one of our Canadian listeners and you want to see Sam in Dorks and Dungeons,
I hope you have your tickets already because
is it sold out?
It's been sold out for 3 weeks now.
Oh wow!
We sold all passes for the weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, it's the furthest, kind of almost the furthest away east than Taylor will be performing that you can possibly get in Canada. But
Eras Tour, Dorks and Dungeons.
yeah, one has errors, one has errors.
How many people show up at your shows? At
The
those kind of events?
The last time we clocked it, their capacity was 850. It's a big convention center, but like there's multiple things going on at the same times. And for this, the largest room that they have outside of like the vendor hall where it's tables and free range people going around, 850
So 850 people can come watch you
at a time.
but the number of passes are
It's
thousands.
yes, it's 10,000 passes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the passes are sold out?
Yes, everything's sold out. They have your VIP people, you're just buying it for the weekend, your individual days, and then they have like the veterans and kids tickets and every ticket is sold out unless they decide to drop a couple more going in.
Well, keep an eye out. You never know.
Do you have glow-in-the-dark bracelets and things?
I can either confirm or deny that.
What do you trade at these shows?
D&D stories, Klingons versus Wookiees. So I have a question that kind of relates from that to this, because I've seen it with HalCon. I've seen it with other theaters that I've worked at, and I want to get your opinion on this. Might be a little bit of a curveball. But when it comes to Taylor tickets, and let's say phony tickets or ticket scams, is that something that pops up?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Eras Tour tickets, there's a real fear of buying tickets on the secondary market because there have been scams. And
When you were getting your tickets, I heard the hoops you had to go through. The
Well-
waiting in the queues.
And I bought mine from,
Yeah,
I did not buy mine on the secondary market.
right.
And I've been asked a lot by people about potentially buying tickets on the secondary market. And I just don't know enough, and I'm not confident in how to do that. So it's probably why I haven't gone to another.
Going about like it interests me so much of being like, why wouldn't you just go through the primary like day if you know the tickets are gonna be released on this day? Go through that, figure it out, get the tickets.
You can't. Supply and demand. They're gone.
Yeah,
They're gone.
it's insanity.
There's no, that's, an option for a small amount of people.
Small. we only have 15,000 tickets for the weekend.
Well, yeah, but then you divide it. Like, people are buying 4 at a time. So then, and then people buy them to resell them for obscene numbers, which is a choice that is affecting their own karma. Of this, I am sure. But it has been, it's kind of getting tickets to the Eras Tour, going to the Eras Tour. When it first got announced, before anybody knew what it was, we're like, oh, exciting. Like, yep, we're going. And like, it's just kind of built and built and built. It's snowballing. And now I have people going, so I feel like I need to go. I need to see it. It's like a cultural thing that I've missed. I need to go see it. And Harrison, who's a big Deadhead, big Fish fan, gets like going to multiple of the shows. Like, he gets that part of the Swiftyism. But he was saying to me the other day that he's like, I really feel like I'm missing a cultural moment not going to the Eras Tour. I really feel like I've missed out on something. And he's not a Swiftie. He's not a Swift hater.
He's
just not his thing.
goer.
Yeah, but he's a concert guy. And he's like, I think this is one of those things where in 10, 15 years, we're like, that's what I should have done.
Sure. It's that crazy of being like, this is a show that has, it's not like Parliament Funkadelic or another venue that like every single show is going to be so different. There's a formula.
But there's a set list.
But there's definitely changes that happen every performance.
Yeah.
And there's things that are unpredictable that they've like it might rain, and guess what happens when it rains now? Now it's a rain concert. It's a whole different ballgame.
There's no more of those. You can't.
Right.
Unfortunately, you will never have another Eras Tour rain show unless she adds to the dates, Taylor.
In 10 years, there's gonna be like this whole like subreddit of stolen valor when it comes to going to a Taylor Swift concert. That I
was
know.
there. It was rare. I remember it all too well.
Do you think Blake and Ryan buy the tickets? Like they were at NOLA.
They were at NOLA, yeah.
Do you think they're buying tickets? Do you think their agents get them the tickets?
I think Taylor is giving them tickets. Travis and Mama Swift certainly are not buying tickets.
Yeah, I think like it's if you're like, yeah, you're my +1 for life now, possibly. Why would you charge them the tickets?
Well, it's an economy.
Mm-hmm.
In this economy, Taylor's got. You don't become a billionaire overnight, Sam. Sure. She's been talking a lot on the tour about friendship bracelets, and this really started in and if you think about it, she wrote a line on Midnight's called "Make the Friendship Bracelets."
Mm-hmm.
And the fans really like connected. And I wonder when she was writing it, if she was like, oh, that's a cute little line. Like, that's fun. What an image. And then moved on. Or if any part of her was like, oh, I wonder if they'll grab onto this and make friendship bracelets.
Okay.
I do not think so. I think when we're like, oh, let's make friendship bracelets and trade them. She's like.
That was the cult of personality getting together as opposed to her masterminding this.
Yeah. I think it was one of those things where she was like, that's fun. Okay.
Do you know any more about the friendship bracelets in New Orleans though? Like, was it?
Well, so they put it up on the Superdome, and then people trade them. It is like, it's funny because at the beginning of the Eras Tour, people were like, oh, "You meant doing friendship bracelets," and now it's such like an iconic part of the tour, and I kind of laugh because there were definitely girls who I would run into like, "I'm not making friendship bracelets," and now they're like, "Yeah, I have friendship bracelets."
Well, yeah, it's that FOMO and that missing out. That's why I feel like it's so crazy. Of all places, New Orleans makes the most sense for this to just blow up and thrive.
Well,
it's a place where you can have it's not just Fat Tuesdays and Mardi Gras. Like you can have a parade at any moment, but people like literally throwing friendship bracelets from balconies to me. Mm-hmm. It's instead of it being like, woo, it's more like, yay! Like that. I feel like that's just one of those things of like the climate slightly changing the location, even if it's for that weekend.
But Indy's got friendship bracelets up for months. Like, it's just kind of another thing where it's just growing because we know there's an end. Like the anticipation of like, we only have so much more of this. And there's something in the world that the world feels a little chaotic right now. There's something about just having this really wholesome moment of like trading friendship bracelets. Like there's just something really good about it. And it's this just peak girlhood where we're like, oh, I love your outfit. I love your glitter. You want to trade friendship bracelets? It's just so happy. And there's no negativity around it. And you're not too cool or you're not cool enough. Like it's an even playing field.
With the Orig North American tour ending in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Orig American tour.
Leg one.
Yeah, leg one. Leg one ending in LA. Ended big in LA. It was 4 days, 5 days. It was the longest. It was the longest.
Lot. I think it was 6, but.
And it also ended with they are taking the big videos there that became the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like, and this is me projecting, so it is kind of a loaded question. Do you feel like with this last leg of the tour, ending in Canada, ending in Vancouver and stuff, do you think like do you feel like it's just a general disappointment of like, this was the last opportunity I could have gone to these spots that she hadn't been yet, really? Mm-hmm. Or does it feel like, do you think some people are just going to be like, it really ended in LA?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think that. I think each leg had its thing. Mm-hmm. You know, the first American leg was like the first of the Eras Tour. And you really got to experience, we got, Speak Now announcements. We got 1989 announcements. We got, like, there was just so much going on. And then she went to Europe, and Europe, people were going, and it turned into its Europe leg, but there was Tortured Poets in it. Mm-hmm. And now we're in the second leg, and it's just kind of like, whatever Taylor's going to do, Taylor's going to do. Like, prepare to be.
It's the last time, so she's probably going to.
she's
pull
gonna
out all
live
the
her
stops,
life.
or say, you know what, for whatever reason, I'm going subtle today. We're doing a strip. Like, it could be anything.
We're getting new outfits. Like, there's enough in here that just kind of like makes everybody feel it. It feels fresh, despite the fact it's a very similar set list. And I think that's the power of Taylor. Like, she knows her audience.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's one of those shows where it doesn't matter if you're on the floor staring up at her or if you're up in the rafters looking down. You really get an immersive experience. And I think that's why this tour has become such a thing. And now you're seeing these. I follow an influencer who took her daughters to New Orleans, and one of them just got so overwhelmed while at the tour, she made herself sick. And we're hearing more and more about these little girls who are just so excited. This means so much, and their little bodies like can't process
Right. It's
the
beyond
adrenaline.
sensory overload. You're
and-
surrounded by a sea of people and lights and sounds.
And sounds, and you're excited, and you're dancing, and there's people, and you just
The pressure you put on yourself for that moment of experience.
So like, there's just, it's just, I mean, I saw it when it was big, but it wasn't overwhelming. I think it's getting wildly overwhelming. And, you know, I got to go in like knowing what I was getting into, but not really. And there was expectations, but now you have these expectations. It's going to be the best night of your life and earth shattering. And it's a cultural moment, and it's so cool. And I'm like, oh, it is a cultural moment, and it is so cool, but I'm so glad I got to go into it. Like,
Yeah. And you're one of the few that got to see it multiple times.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And now we're at the end of all the eras. It's the end. End of all the shows.
No mas.
Hypothetically, theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been saying a lot, like, it's just been so fun. This is the longest tour she's ever done, and she's having so much fun. But she's got to be so tired.
Sure.
I'm tired for her.
Sure.
And, you know, but the fans too, like, they always say you have to leave them wanting more. And I think we all want more.
Mm-hmm.
And we all want, like, you know, it's going to end and she's going to do something else and we'll get excited. But there's also, like, they're still filming. So the odds are there's a documentary coming.
Mm-hmm.
The odds are there's something else coming. And so even though it's ending live, it's still going to continue to live on in the consciousness of the world.
The fatigue and the desire are kind of leveling up.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean, there's fatigue in even the fan theories. They're like, well, she's going to release this Taylor's version on this date because of this thing she did here and this thing there. And I'm at the point, too, where I'm like, and I scroll through it. 'Cause I'm like, she's going to do what she wants to do when she wants to do it. Like, I'm down, Taylor. If you drop Debut and Reputation at the same time, oh, that's going to be a lot of content to unpack, but I'm in. Like, you tell me, Taylor. I'm down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to, like, I don't know how to clown anymore because I've been wrong so many times that I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna hang out. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I mean, my hopes are always up. But, you know, now that we're past Halloween, she also has released Christmas Tree Farm as a single to radio again.
Okay, is this one of those...
Swiftness. I love me some Swiftness.
Is this one of those songs that did fall under the umbrella of there needed to be a Taylor's version?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Have we done it? I think we... Oh, yeah, we did it. We did it in the olden days.
We did do it.
I mean, we can also just dust it off again. I think
When
we did
she
the
releases
Jingle Bell
when
version.
she
We
does
didn't do
Little
the
Drummer
OG.
Boy, I'm going to be, you know...
I'm making a note to myself to go back to the original. We might have to redo it.
If she does Kanye got run over by a reindeer, sure. If she does...
I don't think she wants to put the reindeer in jeopardy.
Christmas, now all I hear is Christmas bells. Okay. And they're jingling. What jingle?
Silent night.
For whom the bell tolls right now. What's tolling for us? What else?
Jingle
we got?
bell. She's gonna get you back.
She's going to get me back? I'm sure she is.
I've tortured poets.
Ah, the song.
Off the anthology.
The anthology. Okay. I'm sure I'm going to have plenty of questions about the anthology that I still don't understand.
You've had plenty of questions in the past. I can see plenty more in our future.
Mm-hmm.
I also want you to keep in mind when you're listening to this, there is no spaces between the words in this title. I'm going to get you back.
Okay. There's no space. No space between
No
the words.
space.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I will keep that
We
in
have no
mind.
space.
Okay. Well,
So we're going to hit pause. You hit pause. We're listening to track 18 of Tortured Poets. I'm going to get you back. Yeah, sounds aggressive from the beginning.
a little bit.
I'm middle-aged now. I'm aggressive.
All right.
Ask the TikTokers. All right. So we're going to hit pause. Sam's going to get scared, and we'll be right back. Well, Sam.
This song is a song that people are going to love and vibe with, and I'm feeling like the curmudgeon because I'm not really in it yet. But it's got
Because you're not angry.
It's got this it starts off sounding like it's gonna be a Phil Collins song, right? It's like that powerful, and it's that simple, like the beat, the instrumentation, everything in the back is so freaking simple and groovy, and all it is just like, it's great how there's no spaces in the title of this song for the words, because all it is the wavelength of the sounds further apart and then coming back together. It gives it room to breathe, and then tightens up again. It's so... My stomach is growling that I'm so upset with myself, apparently. It's interesting, but also, again, I'm left with wondering if there's no spaces in the song title, why are the lyrics I'm looking at, why are some things bold and some things aren't? From what I'm looking at, whoever put this up in the Google decided that some things were very important or needed to be bolded, I'm like, okay, so I'm listening for this because I see my visual cue, but I don't hear anything different. Is it supposed to be call and response when she starts doing it in shows? Is there supposed to be is there an Easter egg to what message is going on?
Oh, there's Easter eggs, but nothing like you're thinking of.
Because what I got is, I'm going to tell you what I see in bold.
Yeah.
You knew the price going in. Once you fix your face, I'm going in. But I'm going to get you back. You're mine. And I was like, okay, it's the last line for each of these verses. And then it starts going in the third and fourths. That you steered straight into the ditch is bold. Or I might just love you till the end. But I'm going to get you back. You're mine. Even if it's handcuffed, I'm leaving here with you.
It might just be whoever is in charge of lyrics on Google's favorite lines.
Pick your poison, babe.
You know the price going in.
And then it's the I'm going to get you back again.
And poison either way.
So this is, again, one of those songs I feel like she's been able to do that has a lot of callbacks to different things that she's sung about. Mm-hmm. Even from Midnights, it's quick recall all these things. The silly games line made me think about the loaded dice from last episode.
Well, loaded dice too. Angels roll their eyes, devils roll the dice off Cruel Summer.
So the rolling in the games. You knew the price going in. Lilac short skirt. Okay, obviously I'm thinking about lilac. I'm thinking lavender haze.
Well, I think the song is one of those, like, you have this tumultuous breakup and this, like, kind of crazy relationship, and you're just not sure if you want to get back together with them and live happily ever after, or if you want to just, like, get them back, like, revenge. And so it's like a thin line between love and hate here.
Okay.
And she delicately balances on it. And it's an interesting, because she's embracing the messy feelings of, like, not knowing where you want to be. I could hate you. I love you just the same. These, like, you've got these big things kind of pulling you in either direction, and you just haven't decided where you're landing with this. And you're like, either way, I'm leaving. I'm leaving here with you. Either way, I'm leaving here with you. Like, I could get married, or I could be in handcuffs. Like, I could smash your bike.
Early days when we started this podcast, frustratingly so, Jason and I would ask you who this song's about.
Which I don't love that question.
Sure. Is it possible that this song is kind of like that, where it's calling out, whether it doesn't matter who you think that this song is about. And I don't know if this song's going to be a love song yet or this song. It's like whatever song I'm making, if it's about somebody, people are like, oh, well, it's about this relationship with this. In this case, it's like, well, I don't know if it's going to be, you know what, if I ever make a song about you, I don't know if it's going to be a love song. I don't know if it's going to be a revenge song or a hate you song or this, like, doesn't matter, but I'm going to get you, the listener.
I think it's about being like, I mean, it's Tortured Poets, and she was going through it.
Sure.
And she's like, I want to wring his neck, but I still love him.
Okay.
I want to never talk to you again and block your number, and I want to be done. But I miss him. Like, and it's that like push and pull in that relationship where you haven't fully wrapped your brain around what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, well, I'm mad, really, really mad. But there was so much good there that I can't quite commit either way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just a really interesting like moment in time. And like I've definitely been there where I was like, I'm really mad at you, and I can't right now, and I like kind of want to just be done. But I also like, maybe not. Maybe I'm not ready to be done yet. I don't know. And so it's that like push and pull. It's that like moment of like devil and angel on your shoulder. Like your friends are like, just let it, dump him, drive it into the ditch, be done, burn it down, say all the things, scorch the earth, be done. And then you're like, but like, what if we just, got back together, tried it again?
I hear the whispers in your eyes. I'll make you want to think twice.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find that you were never not mine. You're mine.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I, Taylor, am so, I'm this, but now I'm also this. I'm column A and column B. And I realize that what I could do is just make you, if you start to understand and feel the same way, then you'll realize, of course, we should be together. Because whether it's we are the moth to the candle or we're the gasoline in the match, like this should just keep going. Whatever this says should keep going.
Maybe she can't decide yet. She can't decide whether I'm going to curse you out or take you back to my house. I haven't decided yet. I have been in that situation. Not that long ago. I get it.
So instead of me going and hyper focusing on whispers in your eyes,
yeah, like
I would rather, if I may, hyper focus on the whether I'm gonna be your wife or gonna smash up your bike,
mm-hmm.
because bike could be motorcycle or it could be just your bike, your bicycle, your bike. And to me right there, it's such a funny thing of being like, I don't get it, but like the idea of it being breaking someone's bike, I think bicycle.
I thought motorcycle.
Right.
Yeah.
But wife is very prominent. Like whether I'm going to be your wife, you're going to wear the white gown and walk down the aisle and wear a ring and all that stuff, which ties back to paper rings and anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But smash up a bike, it's kind of like that idea of being like, you could be the adult with the baseball bat smashing up a motorcycle.
Because he's a man-child.
Or just somebody's mountain bike. Mm-hmm. And either way, if it's the man-child thing, like a man-child could still be the motorcycle. A man-child could be the Huffy.
Choose your own adventure.
But it's that imagery of being like, it's not even, we've heard Ashton Martin lyrics in this.
Well, that's its own thing, because there was a time between when she broke up with Joe Alwyn that people thought she was dating the Formula One racer who races for Aston Martin. And he thought this was hilarious. He used it on Instagram or TikTok.
But it's that way that she's snaking through like all the subliminals. Like you might pick up on this, or you might project that it's on that. You might project that it's this that I'm talking about.
Well, and I think it's just something where like everyone's kind of been there.
Yeah.
And like you get it. You're like, I've definitely been in those shoes. And that's like the important part of it. And that's where Taylor really shines in her songwriting, is you can drop yourself into the middle of it and you can relate to it.
So what she's kind of creating is these songs are becoming more of the seeing eye image.
You see what you
can kind of see what you want to see, but a lot of people are going to see the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe it's a bit of that FOMO of being like, if you don't see the sail ship, why is that?
I think her songs are pretty, like.
Sure.
I don't think there's any FOMO of not seeing.
I think
you like that Taylor, and the reason that her fan base relates with her so much is because you go through it with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've gone through all of these life stages with her. You're going through, you can relate. You've been there. You felt that. Maybe you haven't been able to put it into words like that, but you've been in it. And you're like, well, I know what it's like to have that like chaotic brain of like, I know better, but I don't. But like, but this, like you're second guessing, you're embracing the mess and you're just being very messy.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, you know what? My friends think I'm crazy, but I might take a baseball bat to your bike. I'm poisoned either way. And it's embracing the chaos and embracing she's kind of the anti-hero again
Mm-hmm.
in here. She's not right, but you don't think she's wrong.
It's that even if it's for, if you don't agree with the reasoning, or you don't agree with the actions, or you don't agree with why I'm doing this, you're still gonna find one thing that you agree with that lines up with you. Whether it's you feel like it's not altruistic, or you feel like it's being too unsensitive or something, you're gonna find a reason that I'm reacting this way.
It's the authenticity. Like you get it. Like she's putting it out there and you're like, "Oh, yeah." Like I've had these uncharitable moments in my life. I've had these moments where I did something I shouldn't. Like, oh, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where she really shines because you're like, okay, so like we went through this breakup. I'm really mad. They did something. They made me not want to do this anymore. And I can't tell where I'm at with this.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I've got choices. And I think knowing that and knowing that like whatever you choose, you choose.
I,
And there's, it could be wrong, it could be right, it could be like it's just is what it is. And you haven't decided yet, and that's okay too.
so I feel like that's kind of like, sorry.
It's almost like Dorks and Dungeons. You throw in dice and, it's a choose your own adventure kind of scenario.
Well, I was gonna say, like, you have here's the author writing their story about being like, this is me saying that I don't know what my choice is going to be, but I know that I have multitude of choices.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the reader, to the listener. You have choices about what you're interpreting too, because here's my back catalog that you've gone through. And I'm just peppering in these little bit of Easter eggs. The Aston Martin could relate to the person that I was possibly going to see. It also might be the getaway car.
I don't think it's that deep. I think you're trying to make this a lot deeper than it is. I think she's just having a petty moment where she's like, I was in a relationship and it crashed and burned, and here's where I'm at. I don't think we need to go into like, she was putting this into that. I don't think all of her songs are that deep. I think I appreciate the effort, but I think this is just her being like, hey, here's where I am. This is what's happening in my life right now.
All right, so I just steered straight into a ditch. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
I think she's just being Taylor. She's like, hey, like, you want to know what's going on in my life? Here you go.
With the last leg and considering Europe, is this one of those songs that she's been performing? Like, has this been like a steady bop for?
No, this is just a secret song or a surprise song that comes in. This isn't part of the set list.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not one of the main Tortured Poet songs.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
Because this is, oh, right, this is an anthology song.
Well, she's got songs from the anthology. Yeah. She mixes it in.
Okay.
But it's just, yeah. I think that's why this album has been so well received, is because she's not afraid to just be her and to be honest about where she is and who she is and what's happening. And Tortured Poets has been like reading a diary.
Mm-hmm.
And you're always kind of like, oh, okay, Taylor. Like, that's very brave. I think there's a lot to be said for that. I think she's found a way to embrace who she is and some of these less than perfect ideals of who she is,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, yep, I could. I'm at that point where I don't know.
I don't know, but here I am.
Yeah. And here's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what's happening. And she's not like, Joe or Maddie, this is it. She's just like, hey, yeah, this is where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Take from it what you may.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely boppable.
Yeah.
It's so okay. So maybe it's because of me and where my head goes and what I'm focusing on. The questions I start asking or wondering, I'm proposing to you, and you're like, yeah, Sam, you don't get it. So why is there no space then in the? Is it just a freaking choice?
It's a stylized
It's a
choice.
stylized choice.
She's like, it's
It's kind of like where this album is all lowercase, or
yeah. I think it's one of those moments where she's like, it's that rush of emotion. Like when you see it, there's no space. Like she's just, this is what's happening.
I think where I come in and I'm saturated with Taylor from doing this podcast. So I only retain what I remember from hearing it, but like every week I'm going to hear a song. The things that I remember, the things we talk about, some things click, some things don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the one who's going to look for Easter eggs, but if I see a pattern, I'm like, okay, well, this song, she capitalized these letters and that meant this. So this, I'm like, okay, is there a reason why? Am I kind of falling into the trap that people find themselves in when they're looking for the Easter egg of when something's going to be released, or?
I'm not sure because like randomly people highlight lyrics and stuff, and that seemed to have been something that like you grabbed onto.
Right. It was
And like
this is
that's never happened for us before, so I'm not sure.
So,
I don't know where this is coming from.
So like I'm looking at type in like this song lyrics, and this is the Google standard of what we're showing you from Google.
Yeah.
Which lists like, okay, it's Taylor and Jack Antonoff, and here's the song title, and boom. And it's like, okay, so these are in bold. That's why. The I'm Gonna Get You Back is all together, no spaces. But it's one of those things. I'm like, is there a reason for this? Or is it just a, whatever. It's been up for a while. It's been up since we've had this song available. Like, why?
I don't know because nothing is highlighted on mine. So I don't know what's happening here. So I don't know where you're used. I don't know. This is all very strange.
Because like that's what I got.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is the bolds. And
I think it might just be the night view. I don't know.
No, it's not. Can't be that. Can't be that
I don't
simple.
and we are way off topic here, but I think maybe we should roll the dice.
All right. All right. You know what? One way or another, we're going to get back to doing the rails and doing it proper. Each and every week, we roll the Jillian Petruzziello. How are you? How's your fellow? Rolling for an album, rolling for a song. We're going to figure out what we're doing. Roll for an album. 8.
Ooh, folklore. Let me pull up my track list.
Back to the little cottage that could. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 17.
Ooh, the bonus track. We're doing The Lakes.
The Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakes.
The Lakes.
Not the Long Pond.
Well, it was recorded in the Long Pond. It's The Lakes.
The Lakes.
The Lakes.
The Lakes. All right.
All right. So if you haven't already, like, follow, rate, subscribe, review.
Look, it's chilly. I was dipping a toe in. I don't know what the lakes are going to have in store.
I don't know what's happening over here.
Could be the undertow, okay? Could be the freezing over right now. I don't know what's going on with the lakes.
It's where the
Lakes
poets go to
region,
die.
Michigan.
Anyway, if you haven't already.
Is it Erie because it's cottagecore? I don't know. It's the lakes.
You can also comment on Spotify. We can answer your questions. I have a lot of questions currently.
And on YouTube.
And on YouTube, you can watch the whole thing unfold right before your eyes from our fancy little studio.
Yeah. Let us know why Kate's right. Let us know why I'm wrong. Let us know what your favorite lake is.
That's next week. Let us know how you're going to get them back, whoever they may be. Smash the bike. Let us know what kind of bike you think it is.
Yeah.
But if you haven't, tell 10, 15, 100 of your friends.
Yeah. Thanks for helping us get to over 100,000 and counting.
Yeah. We will see you next week in our cottagecore era. Thanks for watching or listening.
Yeah. Or both.
I'm Kate the Swiftie.
I'm Not So Swift Sam.
We'll see you next week.